Hello, my friend. My name is Anton from pygnmi.com, and we continue our video series about pygnmi, our open source Python library created to help you to manage your devices with Python and JNMI. So in this series, we'll focus on one of the very interesting approaches how you could make sure that the credentials you are going to use within the pygnmi is stored safely enough so that if you're being hacked, it's not that easy to grab that information from you. So in the previous video, we've discussed the necessity of using the certificates, and we have shown to you how you can use the certificate to build and encapsulate the encrypted tunnel towards our devices we are using in our lab, which is Nokia and Arista routers. Now, they think about using the certificate. Despite we are using certificate, we still need to use the credentials. The reason for that is that credentials, in fact, define the level of the access you might have to the router. For instance, it might be that some engineers are allowed only to pull the data, or probably your NMS system is allowed only to subscribe to the telemetry and to get that data, whereas your network engineers, network operation engineers, are allowed to change the configuration. And all of them will be having their own accounts on the device, their own credential, therefore. So this means that we need somehow to provide the credentials. It could be if we are working like manually with our script. When we execute the manually, we are fine to provide the credentials using some libraries such as getPass, for instance, or input. On the other hand, if we're creating the script that is working on the cron or any other approach, it might be that they need to have the access to your credentials somewhere. It might be part of your script, which is not secure because it means that your system, if it is compromised, will contain the clear text password toward the devices. So the approach that we're going to show you is to use the environment variables within your Linux or Mac system. So what we're going to use, we are going to create the variables for our credentials, and we are going to use these variables from our environment into our Python script. So as usual, we have two devices, Nokia SRS router and Arista EOS switch. Let's jump to our lab. So first of all, let's create a basic script. We'll use probably the get capabilities we'll use the capabilities RPC request just to make sure that we can make requests towards our devices and collect some information. So I'll create really quickly the script relying the pygnmi. So we are importing from our pygnmi library client, we are importing the class JNMI client, which is used to build the JNMI communication to the host. We'll create the variables which contain the information about our hosts. So that would be sort of our inventory. We'll have here just a few fields such as IP address, or probably let's put it just IP, it would be simpler and quicker to type. So 169, 168, 100.10, and the port we're going to connect, which is 57,400. We'll skip probably the host names in here, that's not that important, and we will provide the second device. So this is our devices where we are going to connect to them. So we'll create within our body the very basic loop. So for host in hosts, we are building the communication towards our devices. So we do this using the JNMI client. We need to provide certain parameters, all of them available in the online help. So we try to make it as easy and as readable as possible for you. So we need to provide the target, which is a tuple having their IP and the port from our host. So host IP, and the first entry in the tuple, and the host port is the second one. Then we need to provide their username and the password. Okay, so let's for now provide them as text. So pygnmi, and let me in fact first create password would be also pygnmi. So, and we will use in secure mode just to simplify our work with the credentials. You have already possibility to look into how to use self-signed certificate in our previous video. So let's create this account, user pygnmi with password pygnmi on our devices. So first we are jumping to our Arista device. So we create a user pygnmi with secret pygnmi and privilege level 15. So probably I need to create something like, I don't know, not the pygnmi. Let's create something super strong. Basically, let's create something very insecure. Okay, so this would be our password. So let me copy that. Right. So, all right. So this account is created. Let's create the very same user on our Arista router. So this would allow us to have the same credentials, right? Okay, so a user is created. Just don't forget to add access to the gRPC. Okay, and now we can try to connect to our devices just to validate that our connectivity is working fine, just to make sure we're not chasing the ghost when we try to troubleshoot something. Okay, now we are making our call. Okay, I need to create SGC, and I'm making the call to collect the information, and we'll just print it. Okay, so let's run our script. Python capabilities environment. Great. So we see that we are pulling the information. So connectivity there. Fine. We can start focusing now on our core topic for today, which is using the environment as the variables. Now, what is in general in the environment? If you type in your Linux or Mac CLI the keyword env, you would get the list of the variables that are available for your system. So as this is the variables, we can work with them. We can also add here some parameters. So to add the parameters, we are using the keyword export and then providing the name of the key, like pygnmi user, without the space equal sign, and then without the space we provide the value, which is in our case pygnmi, and we'll also create the second variable, which would be pygnmi pass, and we provide this variable. Okay, so how to check that they are created? Let's run env, same command, and we'll add the grep function that we would like to load for something containing the pygnmi. Now you see this variable is available. They're available only for you. They're available only in this specific context. So for instance, I would open on the very same host. So you see, just same tool. If I would like here env, you would see here the same like username and all the stuff that I have had. However, the session ID would be different. Now, if I would run the same command, oh, I did something strange. So, oh, just a second. Oh, basically, I think it would be even more interesting. Cool. So now you see I have created my variable and I have my environment and I have opened it again. And now you see that I, in fact, do not have them anymore because I have unintentionally closed that. So now let me try to recreate them. So export pygnmi user pygnmi, and the second password itself pygnmi pass. So what have I used? Something like that. Okay, so now if I run my environment again, as you see, it's available again only in this session. It's actually quite cool that I have unintentionally closed because it shows you they're really living in there. They are really living only within the session. So looking into other open sessions, you see, you don't see anything. So it exists only for this run. So basically, it means that if I would close the session, like I have just closed that and restarted, the password is gone. This is quite secure way of storing the variables then, because they are existing only for this run. And what I could do, I could use them now in my script, and I will see in the moment how. And I could run the script, let's say on the cron. It will be hourly, I don't know, weekly, pushing the info, collecting the information from the devices. And if the system is compromised, still they are living only in the memory of that process, of that shell that is already closed, which is quite cool. So now how we can access these environment variables from our pygnmi script. To do that, we need to use their standard library called OS. So this contains a lot of various features which allows the Python script to interact with the operating system, including access to your current variables within the environment. So to get these variables, their function environ_b or environ actually is used. So if I run the script right now, and in fact, I don't want to print the result, probably just to save the space in the CLI, Python capabilities and, okay, I need to jump to the corresponding folder. So you see, it dumps all the environment variables. I think there are also like the one called environ_b, basically, which gives us the same stuff, but we don't need to have environ_b, so environment is good enough. Okay, so this part is working. How we get access to any of these elements? It's basically quite easy. As you see, all of them looks like a dictionary. In fact, it is a dictionary. So I could get access to them, let's say, using the name of the variables we have created, pygnmi user, save, print, and you see it's printing for us the variables. It's printing 2 times because we are doing it within the loop. So how we can then take this information? We'll create 2 variables. Let's create pygnmi user, which would be having a default as a keyword if. So this gives us the dictionary of everything we have within our environment. So we could say if pygnmi user, so this key is not existing in these variables, or if this key, even if it's created, doesn't have any variable. So I'll be using the default password and default username in this case, which we call default, if we don't have this key defined in our variables, or if the variable environment variable pygnmi user is created but really not used. else, so if the key is existing and has some value, we'll use this variable. So we'll use the same approach 2 times. We also would create it for password. So I need to close this. So this creates for us the username and password variables, which we can now take out from our environment. If they are not defined in the environment, we'll use some default keywords. Now let's use these variables within our script. And let's have the script running. So, okay, it tells us that we have an error, which entirely might be. So let's check what we have created. Wrong, probably the condition is not accurate. So we can print here our user, and we could also print our password to do the debug, right? So we see they're using the default value. Now let's figure out what's going wrong here. So this variable, so let's just do some testing of the thing. So first, let's check. Okay, if I add here, probably not. Yeah, so basically I was saying original value was true because I was checking if the key is not existing or if the value is present. But the logic is if key is not existing, or even if it is existing but the value is not there, then we use a keyword default. Otherwise, we use this value. Now you see immediately once I fix the condition, our script worked like a charm, and we are getting the access to our devices. So now I could run this script on cron and just close this session. It will be in the memory of my laptop, of my server, being executing and pulling info and pulling info and pulling info. So what if I need now to close this session? So let's say I close the terminal and I log in back. Okay. So I could run the script again. And you see I'm getting now the error that I'm not authenticated. And this shows that environment variables, they only live for the time once you have created the shell. That shell is closed. So if I would have run the script on the cron within that shell, it would be fine. Obviously, if my system is rebooted, then there would be problems. But as, I mean, not the problems, the environment would be cleaned, the system is coming up, and like no variables available in the my environment. On the other hand, a sort of the safety check, like if your system is rebooted, yes, you would need to jump into to set up their credentials again. And there might be some other automation tools that would be setting up that variables during the time of the boot. The important thing is, though, there are 2 types of the credential of the environment variables. One, which are defined at the startup time and they are really stored in the file, and that is very bad practice because it means then everyone who has attacked your system could grab these credentials or create it in the way like we did when we created only for a particular shell session, and we are using it during the time we are working with them, and once we are rebooting, our credentials are gone. So I hope you like this video and get some more ideas how you could improve the resiliency and the spread the use of the pygnmi, our open source Python library created for you to help manage your network environment with Python and JNMI. Make sure you put a like to this video and distribute it across your social media. Thanks a lot, take care, and goodbye.